Paragliding Show. Brought to you in conjunction with Paramotor Magazine. With your hosts, Michael Purdy, Jeff Going, Bob Armand, and Paul Anthem.
Hi, you're listening to the Powered Paragliding Show. I'm Michael Purdy, here with Jeff Going and Paul Anthem, and we're talking about the Beach Blast 2010. And probably if this year is going to be known for anything, it's going to be winds, water, and not one, two, three, but 4 water landings. What the heck happened?
Well, I don't think that the winds had much to do with the water landings. The winds were mostly on, Wednesday and Saturday and Sunday, right?
Right. And those affected some other way. I don't think they actually blew anyone into the water. So it's two sort of mishap type of mishaps at the Beach Blast.
Now, we shouldn't say anything about water without pointing out to people how serious it can be. Even if you go into shallow water and there's waves or anything that's moving, a river, whatnot, water is our most lethal accident type. So we shouldn't take this lightly, but in this case, thankfully, nothing happened.
Right. Can be deadly. So
yeah, during one of the during the last water landing I saw, I was near the beach, so I was one of the persons in there to help Harry. He's one of the air hogs, get his wing out. It takes several grown men just to get the paraglider wing out of the ocean.
Usually you can't just pull it out, right, Jeff? You got to lift it up and kind of
unengage. Yeah, lift it up by the trailing edge slowly.
Right.
All right.
Well, I also got to see what a Agama water rescue system looks like when it's inflated, and it's a lot bigger than I thought.
What happened? Who was flying that? And describe what happened.
Now, I didn't get this was I don't know, maybe Friday or Saturday. I didn't get the pilot's name on that one. I got a picture of it. What happened on that one is he was trying to take off, and I don't know if he had motor problems where he couldn't go to full power, or I'm not quite sure, but he didn't gain the altitude, but he kept on trying. So he's taking off towards the water, just barely getting up. So he jumps in his seat, before the water is coming.
Oh, and never a good idea.
The motor goes down, right? Not a good idea. So the motor goes down. He kind of plows into the sand, but still is going full power. So he went a little further because the beach is dropping off at that point. Well, since he had plowed into the sand, it messed up his propellers. He's still going full blast, so he's still going forward. So it just drove him further into the water. And so his propeller just blew to pieces, and he ends up in the water with his wing in the water. The Agama inflated, and which is good because even though he crashed right there on the shore, the waves were flopping him around, and I really think that helped him, at least stand up, so you don't panic.
Right.
And he still had some people down there to help him get it out and get his wing out.
Yeah, you could drown in a couple feet of water with a motor on your back.
Exactly, yeah. And with your wing dragging you in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, the action of the waves is powerful. Well, I got to tell you that there were a lot of people who were launching right over the water. Now, admittedly, the LZ was structured that it sort of made people want to do that. But there were still ways you could launch and then go just over the water so that if something happened, you could turn in. But people were launching without turning to fly down the beach, which I think is a very bad idea.
Why would they do that? Why would they do that?
I think that it's because, we had a lot of newer pilots. I mean, with 300 or however many, 250 to 300 pilots, you're going to have some guys where they're kind of just happy to get in the air.
Monkey see, monkey do probably as well.
So, especially in the situations, and I got a bunch of these on film. I was up on the 10th floor of Tower 3 filming my heart out because I'm doing the master PPG stuff. And There's not a lot I'm going to use this for, admittedly, but they were taking off, doing forward launches in the light wind and going right over the water. And you'd see them, they'd let go of both brakes, put their hands down. They're still heading out over the water at only maybe 10 feet, reach down and get in their seat. So
that's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, if something goes wrong right there, or if you hit that kill switch accidentally, oh, it's not going well.
I will never forget a quote from the past when from the old show years ago, and I remember Jeff talking about flying down the beach, with both hands on the brakes because you never know when Mr. Solo's going to take a nap.
Yeah.
Remember that? That was back when solo engines were the mainstay. But that's true. I mean, if they have any little burpage, they got trouble.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what happened. Go ahead.
Speaking of that, one of the last water landing I saw was because of an engine out, and I believe Jeff interviewed him as soon as we got him out of the water. Didn't even let him dry off. Jeff starts interviewing him.
What happened? What'd you find out?
That's the best time when it's fresh. Well, apparently he'd been having some motor problems to begin with, and he had done a takeoff and a landing earlier because the motor was running a bit peaked. So now he takes off, and I don't think he got more than maybe 10 feet when it quit and went right in.
Wow.
Now, in this case, he was actually out very far. The rest of the water landings were fairly close to shore. He was actually out quite a ways, which really scared everybody. But we came to find out he realized after he was in the water for, I don't know, 5 seconds or 10 seconds that he could stand up. And he's a tall person. In spite of the fact that I think he might have been like 40 yards out offshore. However, we found out if he was out another 15 feet, he would have, that's where the ledge drops off.
Oh, boy.
He would not have been able to stand up.
Yeah, we'd be having a different conversation right now.
Very possible.
Wow.
Now, so that was 2. 3 and 4 was, okay, John went in on 1 during the competition. He'd run out of fuel.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah. And I'll admit, that was the problem with the competition course because it was right next to the water. Now, you could climb up and fly around there without subjecting yourself to a water landing, but that would decrease your time. So you were motivated to make that turn right away over the water, putting yourself at risk for going in if it quit. And that's what happened. He ran out of fuel right as he, I think, kicked the last stick or slalom the last thing or whatever, and went in. It was probably up to his knees. It was pretty shallow. But then apparently that caused a problem with his motor, and later on he had an honest-to-goodness engine out where it just quit.
So he was the last 2 because we have about a minute.
Yes, he was the last 2, and now he was frustrated by that second one, I'm sure. But
all right, well, you never know, and you got to really watch that water stuff. It's like Jeff said, it's serious. It's easy to laugh at it, but man, it's really dangerous.
Right.
I watched people. Yeah, most people were. They stayed up high. I mean, for one thing, we had to for the event just to preserve it. But
they had flotation.
Yeah, I had flotation, and I still was paranoid because I have an Agama on my mini plane, and I was still paranoid about it. I do not want. There's sharks in there. I do not want to be at the bottom of the food chain.
Yeah, you don't want that at all. Okay, we're out of time. Michael Purdy, you're listening to WorldPPG.com, the powered paragliding show, and that's all.
Paramotor Magazine is the global English language magazine for paramotor, paratrike, and powered hang glider pilots. Read by passionate pilots in over 50 countries, its glossy color pages are packed with adventures, reviews, technology, and advice from the world's best pilots. Visit paramotormag.com